Well, it seems like there's even more problems with DC and Warner Brothers outside of film production. It is now even seeping into video games. So a couple days ago, it's been leaked and rumored that a main menu screen for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been released online. Now, I'm not putting up a picture of it in this video because I want to refrain from getting copyright striked or claimed in any way. It's pretty ridiculous that you can't even show a picture, but that's the state a lot of people are finding themselves in with this situation right now. Now, apparently this leaked screen is coming from 4chan, and we all know how 4chan can be nowadays. Not many reliable things come from that website, whether or not you're talking about leaks, information, or anything to do with the world today. In fact, there have actually been 2 leaks to come from 4chan. This apparent main menu screen and 2 a full breakdown story synopsis of the entire game. Now, I've skimmed the story leaks and it sounds so outlandish even for a DC video game combining of the Suicide Squad and the Justice League. One thing that is very apparent in the game though, they were apparently going to use the Speed Force to erase the Arkham trilogy or the Arkham series if you include Arkham Origins, and I think that is one of the stupidest things they could ever do, and that's why I'm not buying this at all. An argument is that they're trying to use it to explain how Batman is back, but you don't need to explain that. It's Batman. The guy will just come back when he deems it to be good and ready for him to come back. And also, too, you got to be naive to think if he died at the end of Arkham Knight, because we all know he didn't. It's for that reason, and to be honest with you, many other reasons why I don't think that 4chan leak is accurate at all. And oh my God, I hope it's not. But this main menu screen is really what we're here to talk about. Now, giving you kind of like a picture of what the main menu screen looks like, you can go online and find a picture. I'm pretty sure it's still floating around there somewhere. But essentially what it was is you had Captain Boomerang front and center. It seemed like whoever took this picture or whoever was playing the game, this is who they were using. And then behind Captain Boomerang, you had Deadshot, King Shark, and Harley Quinn. And each one of these characters had a level above them. I think like Captain Boomerang was level 15, someone was level 21. So clearly they've been using these characters enough to upgrade them. Now on the left side of the screen, you had stuff like Play Now, matchmaking, settings, all that type of stuff. So clearly they were playing online with a group of friends, or in this case, developers, since it's not available for people to play yet. But then on the right side of the screen, top right corner, I believe, it says Buy Battle Pass. So yes, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has a battle pass system. You can only imagine this has already not been sitting right with people, and it's actually done so much damage that they've been losing pre-orders. People have been backing out of their pre-order for the game because they now know there's a battle pass system. And I can't necessarily blame you. Why does everything nowadays need to have a subscription service? Why can't you just buy a game for full price and play it in its entirety? Why does everything need to be subscription based? And I know the easy answer is because, oh, well, they're greedy. They want money. They want to keep you coming back to the game. But it's getting to the point where these subscription services are becoming too much, and people are catching on and realizing to how unethical it is. Now, we're going to keep talking about this battle pass issue, but what's an even bigger issue with what's going on here is the fact that people have been trying to talk about this. YouTubers and content creators my size, or maybe even a little bit bigger than me, tens of thousands subscribers, hundreds of thousands, and people like me who are in the single digits of thousands are getting copyrighted for this. People on Twitter and people on YouTube have been showing this image, have been making videos about it, and have been getting copyright claims, and their accounts or their videos have essentially been getting shut down. Warner Brothers is actively going out there trying to make sure nobody knows of this main menu screen, even though their own department is at fault for letting something like this happen. So there's two things here. First of all, you can't say maybe it's not real. Maybe this is just fake. Well, no, it's not true, because Warner Brothers wouldn't be actively trying to take something down if it wasn't real. And also too, I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure they cannot copyright claim something if they don't physically own it themselves, which if this image was not real, they wouldn't care. They would let this image fly around all they want. And number two, this just goes to show as well, they already knew people weren't going to want a battle pass system. People weren't going to want to have another game they had to do another monthly subscription service for, and yet they still decided to move forward with it. Why do you think they are actively trying to take down accounts or anything to do that deals with this leaked photo? Because they don't want people seeing it, because look at what has happened when people have seen it. They've been getting called out on it. People have been now losing interest in the game, and also they're losing pre-orders. They can't afford this right now. You know, it must be hard to be a video game developer nowadays. You work crazy long hours. The job is not easy. I don't know what goes into being a programmer and a video game developer in general. I don't know all the scientific, computerized, mathematics stuff you gotta do to digitalize things on screen. It seems like a tough job, something I could probably never do. Also, too, you're combating in a world where nowadays video games are so artificialized, everything is huge. It's either multiplayer, massive teams against massive teams, or everyone versus everyone. It's open world story mode games. It's open world online games. You're always seeing a video game nowadays that is like, this is the biggest map since Skyrim, or this is the biggest map since Cyberpunk. Games are just getting bigger and bigger nowadays, and it's almost as if people forgot that there was another genre of game, not just open world. That is not the only form of game that a lot of people like to play nowadays. But also another genre a lot of these gaming studios deal with nowadays is money. And yeah, that is a genre, because money is battle passes. Money is microtransactions. And I thought when the day came that Star Wars Battlefront 2 was under so much scrutiny, the whole world of gaming, their eyes were on them because of how ridiculous their microtransaction system was. It was basically pay to win. And they finally took it down. EA learned their lesson. Well, clearly EA still hasn't learned their lesson, because they're still doing stuff like that today. But they removed it for Battlefront. I thought that would have been a lesson to the gaming community and gaming studios, and it hasn't been. Sure, a lot of these items nowadays are not pay to win. They're more so cosmetics. They're things you can add on to your character to make them look cooler, things you might like, skins, costume designs, blah, blah, blah. I'm a huge Apex Legends fan. I used to buy all the battle passes. In the past 4 or 5 battle passes, I haven't bought them because I just haven't had enough time to play the game. Although I shouldn't need to be forced to spend hundreds of dollars every couple of months to buy these items simply because I think they look cool. And unfortunately, that is the worry with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and that is the situation we're going to find ourselves in. Even with all this backlash that Warner Brothers is getting right now for this battle pass, they're still going to do it. And who knows, maybe we see this battle pass and it's, you know, somewhat worth it. Maybe it's like, yeah, you know what, I'll drop how much dollars to get a month's worth of content. But the problem is not a lot of us are possibly going to be playing that game a month, 2 months, 3 months down the line, and now you're just forking out money for something you're not even going to be playing. I am fine with add-on content like DLCs, story expansions, all that type of stuff, something that's going to change the game or physically add on to the game. But when you're charging an arm and a leg for cosmetics, that's where I get annoyed. Unless your game is literally built off of that, if you have a free-to-play game and that's how you make money, okay, I get it. If not, we got a problem. And I think the crazy thing is that people are literally getting punished for speaking out about this. They're getting punished for something that Warner Brothers already knew was going to happen. Whether this got leaked or whether this came out during the release or around the release of the game, they knew they were going to get backlash, so give me a break. Let people speak freely. No matter how this was going to come out, you were still going to get hated on for this. There's a YouTuber named Slickmoth, and he's got 121,000 subscribers, and he does a lot of content with Batman and Batman video gaming, and he actually made a video about this that he got copyrighted on his Twitter, and his Twitter account even got banned for a short time because of this Suicide Squad post. What he says in his video, I'm gonna link it down below so you can get his side of the story of things. Warner Brothers is actually utilizing and weaponizing DMCA and US copyright law to literally do PR. They're literally trying to clean up their own mess by enforcing it on the public who are just reporting and simply discussing opinions on what they're seeing. This makes me so angry with Warner Brothers because they don't deserve this IP. They don't deserve DC anymore. He even says in his video, and it's true, if he were to spoil the end of the game 6 months before the game came out, okay, completely understandable. I understand that. That's reasonable. He posted a picture just as a ton of other content creators have reported about this picture, and they're getting punished for it for your own fault of letting that image leak, for your own fault of creating a battle pass for a game that possibly doesn't even need a battle pass, and knowing that we as the general public who will play this game don't want a battle pass. That's what still blows my mind about this. You know, Warner Brothers Gaming, if you're seeing this, you know we don't want it, yet you're still doing it. I think one of the fascinating things about this game is when you analyze how they've been preparing us for this game, the marketing they've been doing, how long it's been taking, it's going to be really interesting to see how it releases, battle pass or not, controversy or not. There's no doubt in my mind, and I'm sure many of your minds, that the Arkham series is one of the best video game trilogies ever created, easily in the top 10 of all time. Arkham Asylum was released in 2009, and technically, year-wise, Arkham City was released 2 years later, but when you diagnose the months they came out in, I'm pretty sure Arkham City is only a year and a half after Arkham Asylum. They only had a year and a half to make that game, and yet that game is arguably the most beloved game of the Arkham series. It's arguably got the best story in the Arkham series. And that game came out less than 2 years later and still found ways to essentially get straight A's in every single review the game has. Arkham Knight came out in 2015, and still to this day, that game holds up. It looks gorgeous. It has taken almost about 8 years from Arkham Knight to Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and there's still a lot about it we don't know. The only thing we know is that Brainiac resides in Metropolis, the Justice League is brainwashed, and the Suicide Squad have been sent in to fight them and kill them based off of the title of the game. We don't know how the gameplay is, and we really don't know what the story is. This is no secret. The hype for this game is nowhere near as big as the Batman games, and even I think they knew that, because the Batman games, it's obvious, it's Batman. People are going to be excited for that, and even though Suicide Squad's a popular group nowadays, I don't think too many people are going to be overly hyped about their own game, even if we're intrigued by it. I certainly do not think this game is going to sell extremely well when you match it up to the Arkham series. It's going to sell better than Gotham Knights, because I'm telling you right now, I won't be surprised if Gotham Knights is dead. I won't be surprised if they get no more support for that game and there will not be a sequel. The danger is will Suicide Squad end up being a Gotham Knights type game, just prettier and properly made for next-gen consoles? It's like these video game studios have chosen not to learn from the monstrosity and mess that Marvel's Avengers was, and they continue to make games like this. And if that is what Suicide Squad ends up being, it's going to be so disappointing. Not only because, oh my god, we're about to get a second DC game that falls flat and ends up being severely mediocre, if not worse, but because this is Rocksteady. We expect some of the best from Rocksteady, and if we get mediocrity from them, that doesn't feel like Rocksteady, and it's going to be very disappointing. And that's why a lot of issues right now I don't fully want to throw on Rocksteady. I have reason to believe this is heavily on Warner Brothers. I personally think that this is studio pressure from Warner Brothers being like, we see subscriptions and battle passes everywhere nowadays. Why don't we just, shove that into the corner of the Suicide Squad game and make people pay monthly for cosmetics? Until proven otherwise, I am blaming Warner Brothers for this one. The Battle Pass is not helping anybody, and the fact that they're weaponizing copyright laws and going after content creators for having discussions and opinions on it, God, this needs to bite them in the ass. As if things weren't already terrible in their movie department, the last thing they need is their video game department to fall into this trap. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this. Let me know if you're willing to pay for a battle pass, and regardless if you are or aren't, if you're looking forward to this game. I'll be honest with you, I am still looking forward to this game. I am looking forward to playing it because I believe and I trust in Rocksteady, but this is just a terrible, awful look for Warner Brothers. Although, you know what? It seems like they are used to having us look at them terribly at this point. But that's all I got for you on this one, everyone. So until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.